We start with John Bolton, who's now wrapped his series of meetings with South Korean officials. The U.S. National Security Advisor met with his South Korean counterparts here in Seoul, as well as the nation's defense chief and foreign minister. Our presidential correspondent Shin Se-min is on the line with the latest. Se-min, things are coming to a head in the trade conflict with Japan. Is there any sign from these meetings that the U.S. might intervene on South Korea's behalf?
Devin, not quite. John Bolton wrapped up his series of meetings with South Korean officials today and was due to leave for Washington right around now at 4 p.m. Now, he met with his South Korean security counterparts, the defense chief, and the top diplomat here, discussing a number of issues concerning the allies. But unlike many had anticipated, Bolton's meeting did not revolve much around Japan's trade restrictions on South Korea, but it did cover the peace process on the Korean Peninsula. Now, when Bolton met with the defense minister, the two did mention the need for security cooperation between Korea, Washington, and Japan, and they promised to continue close consultations on upgrading their three-way cooperation moving forward. But no specific mention, at least based on the press release, however, of whether or not Washington will step in between Seoul and Tokyo over the ongoing trade route. But the bottom line of maintaining a close cooperation between South Korea and the U.S., no change there. Here's John Bolton before he went into the meeting with South Korea's foreign minister.
So there are many challenges out there, some in this part of the world, some in other parts of the world, but I'm confident that ROK and U.S. will work very closely together to resolve them.
Now, Se-min, I understand they also discussed the violations yesterday of South Korea's airspace by Russia and the flights by China. Tell us more.
Right. When Bolton sat down behind closed doors with the South Korean National Security Advisor Chung Eui-yong, they discussed the unprecedented violation of Korean airspace by Russia and the entering of Korea's air defense identification zone by both Russian and Chinese military aircraft. The two had agreed to continue close consultation when such emergencies happen. And in a readout released by the presidential spokesperson, South Korea's security chief explained how Russian and Chinese military planes had entered the Korean Air Defense Identification Zone, known as KADI's, early Tuesday morning. And both Chung and Bolton also discussed how to cooperate on the U.S.-driven efforts to ensure free navigation in the waters off Iran. The presidential spokesperson added that the two sides also talked about the defense cost sharing of the two countries, to which they agreed to seek consultations based on the spirit of bilateral ties in the most reasonable and fair way. Devin?